Good morning. Maybe it should be clarified for all those that tend to speak with Israelis, which is in our context at this stage, it's perhaps the worst sin that can be committed by humans, to speak with Israelis about anything at all. So it should be clear. Yes, the war. There are spaceships, there are asteroids on the way, and humanity is in its last steps. And if you want to save anything from your species, you have to run to Israel, and you have to shut up. You have to close your mouth, and you have to never speak with Israelis. Not a word. A word with Israeli is a crime. Is a crime against your own species. Nothing good came out of it. It's impossible to improve the circumstances, to improve the situation by speaking with Israelis anything at all, any word at all. I will never be rescued from the Israeli prison without applying force, using arms and legs by international powers, specifically the United States, that it's reluctant to do anything at all. It's not just reluctance. Of course, they have interest for me to stay a slave, which I've spoken about a lot in the past. Maybe I'll do it again in a minute, just to remind you. But this also prohibits other nations from doing it. So the most important is the United States, and that's why I pray to God that they should suffer the most from radiation and from asteroids. I will never be rescued, not me and not my daughters, without intervention. Any kind of delusional, fantasies about, doing it, in organic way by starting a business and things like that, or submitting this or that petition to the court is ridiculous. The court means, you tell me what it means. When I'm under torture or whatever I stay, what is mean? Do I have a freedom? The same people that torture you will also judge you. The state. Does this make sense to any of you? I don't know. I think it's ridiculous. Does this make sense? That there is supposedly a custody trial, but one side is operated by social workers that also write the review. Is that even a trial, or is this? It's not even a Soviet mockery of a trial. It's a mockery of mankind, of humankind. Nothing will change the Israelis. No matter how much they will suffer, they will continue in their ways. If people abroad wish that something will stay from humanity, they need to intervene. They need to do it by using arms and legs. Arms and legs. Mouths and tongues will lead to complete annihilation of humankind. You need to run to Israel. You need to close the mouth and not move the tongue until the foreigners are rescued from the Nazi prison. Don't have any delusional fantasies. When I speak about getting rich, I don't really think that it's possible in Israel. I cannot do anything in Israel without. The Israelis will always. No matter how much I try, the Israelis will always put me in the minimum conditions of living, because they want me to be their slaves. And if I demonstrate the ability to actually replicate energy or material, do you think that they will give me more freedom? No, they will only they will only subjugate me even further, if it's even possible. The reason why I spend my time with scientific stuff is because I need to do something. I'm imprisoned, but it's not my own. I don't have home. I'm in a hostel. I need to do something, and I don't have books here. I don't find my amusement in television, so I do science. But it will not be my ticket out of the Nazi prison. My ticket out of the Nazi prison, if such exists, perhaps it's impossible. Perhaps I'm condemned to to rot and die in this hell. But if a ticket exists, it's only by continuous increase of radiation of all the world, specifically the United States, until enough millions of people will have cancer that the government of the United States will decide that maybe it's time to stop the mouths and tongues and start using arms and legs. It will not have happened a minute before. It's also of great importance to leave all your fantasies about operations and intelligence behind you, because That's, I mean, you are, it's not the issue. Yes, I did contact my mother and my father and ask them for money because I don't have even money for toilet paper. I never imagined that I could be that poor. I have money in pension funds, but I cannot withdraw it because the bank doesn't, answer me for like a week now. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's also, of course, operated by the Shabak, because it's not a democracy, it's a totalitarian dictatorship, and everything is, controlled by the security services. So I don't even have money for toilet paper or anything else, soap, anything. We get food from charity, so I do not starve, but I have nothing more than that. So yes, in such circumstances, I did contact my father and my mother and ask for money. Of course, I didn't get money, but I have, you guessed correctly, I have received movement of mouths and tongues. But if you buy the Israelis ridiculous argument that so yes, his mother, his father will be his handle, or any other ridiculous and satanic intelligence term, then you are you don't you are all children, and you should it's amazing that you have like the responsibility to actually think do stuff in the international scene that things would affect the whole world. The entirety of the intelligence terminology doesn't apply at all to me. I do not need handle, I don't need operators, and this is ridiculous. I need to be rescued from the Nazi prison using arms and legs. Failure to do so, which you have demonstrated until now, is answered by radiation and asteroids. Radiation will only get stronger and stronger, and this is irreversible. So please stop. Speak with Israelis, and certainly do not. Submerge your mind in all sort of intelligence terminology and intelligence ideas. I am not something to be operated, or not something to be handled. This is all ridiculous. This is all ridiculous. I need to be rescued and to start new life in China, in Hong Kong, with my daughters. And of course, their mother, they need their mother. Anything else is just a mockery of further mockery of the foreigners, and another brick in the wall of their genocide. Maybe it's just time, to remind you all why, the United States, and not only the United States, but why, they like me so much to be a slave. So of course, it's not very difficult to understand that they bought the material from Israel. What seems to me ridiculous is that I get so many messages. Some say we never knew about your existence, which is ridiculous, because why did they need to die me if my existence was a secret? And this is something that I came to this conclusion just by in the start of my journey during 2019. That if they're all painting in such a bad way, which was the first thing that I understood, that everyone wanted to paint me in a bad way. So someone is looking, someone is watching, someone is the audience of this of this theater, and the someone is other intelligence agencies. It's not that difficult to understand. So yes, they bought the stuff from Israel. Of course, they knew it comes from you, like a person, because the person who was painted black for so many years. And if they didn't know, perhaps other intelligence agencies, it's amazing that they actually buy such things without understanding asking where it comes from. Especially so when we deal with the Israeli already have a history of cannibalism, and you should have known about it, and probably most of you, if not all of you, have known. So yeah, you bought the stuff, and you use that both for consumption by Homo sapienses, and also because you have Titans as well, and you wanted them maybe just they use it for their own enjoyment. I don't know why. And, also maybe you also consume their coffee or tea or whatever it called it, but their ministerial period. Yeah, you like your Titans females because they are they're your slaves, even abroad. And they give you the stuff, so it's all great, and of course it's much more pronounced in countries that populate their intelligence communities with homosexuals and pedophiles, and it's not that difficult to understand who are the ones. And it's a key point in why I decided that I want to continue my life in China, because obviously they do not do so. Not that difficult to understand. And it's not difficult to understand that they didn't buy the stuff from Israel. You don't need to be Sherlock Holmes. It's evident that they don't, I mean, they are not as woke as other nations. They don't have that liberal values of rainbow and acceptance and, like diversity and I mean treating human beings, sentient beings as cattle or farm animals. This, I mean, such an hypocrisy of the Western world is unbelievable, unbelievable. In any case, that's why I'm a slave, because people want all over the world, especially in the Western world, where the intelligence communities are filled with pedophiles and homosexuals. They want me to be a slave. And no, I am not. I wasn't sent here by like species greatly superior to you, for you to enslave me. No, it wasn't the reason. If that's what you choose, you will all die until the last one. All of you, like 8 billion or so, all of you will die. You cannot. I mean, you cannot enslave me and treat me like a farm animal. It's impossible. You can die, and the result will be a complete annihilation of humankind. And I assure you, it's less of a tragic than you can think it is, because Earth will be populated by like creatures that are similar to you. I mean, from like the very shallow aspects, but are superior to you in every meaningful or deep aspect. And you already have a little bit of a general understanding of what kind of creatures it will be. So no one will miss you. No one cares about you. You're disgusting. That's the way it is. It's just the way it is. That's the truth. You are not a kind of creation. You are slimes. You are scumbags, all of you. And particularly the people of the West that, both, like progressive values, while at the same time enslave other species and treat them like cattle in the most horrific way. So, that's the way it is, and don't mistake, don't have any mistake. If you want to have any chance of survival, you need to run to Israel with your mouths and tongues not moving at all. You need to run. You need to run for your life. Run to Israel, to whatever you can to rescue the foreigners, using force, arms and legs. If you want any kind of future for mankind. Speaking with the Israelis is, bearing humanity, for good.